You ever wonder why the world keeps screwing you over? You ever sit there and think, what did I do wrong? Why can't they see me? Why can't they hear me? It's simple. They don't care. They never did, and they never will. And you've been running around screaming at the top of your lungs, trying to get them to notice, trying to get them understand. But here's the kicker. The louder you get, the less they listen. You keep banging your head against that same wall over and over, expecting something to change. But nothing's going to change, kid, not until you change, not until you figure out the one thing. Nobody ever tells you the secret to surviving, to winning, to coming out on top. You want to know what it is? Silence. Yeah, silence sounds crazy, right? You're thinking, how's silence supposed to help me? How's keeping my mouth shut going to stop people from walking all over me? But that's where you're wrong. See, people, they expect you to scream. They expect you to fight back. They expect you to lose your cool, to blow up, to break down. And when you do, they win. Every single time they get a rise out of you. They feed off your anger, your frustration, your pain. That's what they want. They want you to show them that they've got power over you, that they've got you under their thumb. But when you go quiet, when you stop giving them what they want, that's when they start to squirm. That's when they start to lose it, because they don't know what to do with silence. They don't know how to handle it. And that's when you take control. You ever notice how people freak out when they don't get reaction? You ever see how uneasy they get when you don't give them the satisfaction of knowing? They got to you. They need your response. They need your attention. Like oxygen to them. And when you snatch it away, when you just sit there, calm, collected, silent, oh, that drives them insane. It eats away at them. It makes them question everything. Did they push too hard? Did they go too far? Are you planning something? Are you going to snap? They start to wonder. They start to panic. And in that panic, they fall apart. Here's the thing about silence. It's not just about keeping your mouth shut. It's about taking back your power. It's about refusing to let anyone else dictate how you feel, how you act, how you react. You see, they want to control you. They want to push your buttons, pull your strings, watch you dance to their tune. But when you stop dancing, when you stop playing their game, that's when they lose. That's when they realize they've got nothing. Because without your reaction, without your energy, they're just empty, hollow. They've got nothing to hold over. You want to know the real reason people treat you like crap? It's not because you're weak. It's not because you're not good enough. It's because you've been too generous with your words, with your emotions, with your time. You've been giving too much of yourself to people who don't deserve it. You've been trying too hard to make them understand, to make them see things from your perspective. But let me tell you something. They don't want to understand. They don't care about your perspective. All they care about is what they can take from you. And the more you give, the more they'll take, until there's nothing left of you but a shell. You ever notice how the quiet ones always seem to have the upper hand, how they're always a step ahead, always in control? That's because they've figured it out. They've learned that silence is power. Silence is control. When you're quiet, people don't know what you're thinking. They don't know how to get to you. They can't predict your next move. And that terrifies them. It throws them off balance. It makes them vulnerable, because silence, it's a mirror. It forces people to look at the else. It forces them to face their own insecurities, their own flaws, their own weaknesses. And most people, they can't handle that. They'd rather keep you talking, keep you distracted, keep you focused on their nonsense, so they don't have to deal with their own demons. So what do? You stop talking, you stop explaining yourself, you stop defending yourself, you stop giving them your time, your energy, your words. You let your silence do the talking. You let it speak louder than anything you could ever say. You let it haunt them. You let it creep into their thoughts, into their night. Trust me, it will, because silence, it's deafening, it's suffocating, it's the one thing they can't handle, the one thing they can't control. You think being nice is going to get you somewhere in this world. You think if you just keep bending over backwards, keep being the bigger person, keep swallowing your pride, they'll finally give you the respect you deserve. Being nice gets you walked all over. Being nice gets you used, people. See your kindness and they take advantage of it. They take and take and take until you've got nothing left to give. And then they toss you aside like yesterday's trash. They don't care about you. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about your struggles. They only care about what they can get from you. And the moment you stop being useful to them, they're gone. So what do? You stop caring. You stop bending over backwards for people who wouldn't lift a finger for you. Stop giving your time, your energy, your words to people who don't deserve them. You go silent. You let them wonder. You let them second guess themselves. You let them drown in their own guilt, their own insecurities, their own failures. And you just keep walking. You keep your head high, your mouth shut, and your eyes forward. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't owe anyone your time. You don't owe anyone your energy. They didn't earn it. And they sure as hell don't deserve it. You think silence makes you weak? You think it makes you look like a pushover? Nah. Silence is strength. Silence is power. Silence is the ultimate weapon, because when you're silent, you're in control. You're the one calling the shots. You're the one holding all the cards. And they're left scrambling, trying to figure out what the hell just happened, trying to figure out how they lost control, trying to figure out how you slipped through their fingers. And let me tell you something. There's nothing more satisfying than watching someone who thought they had power over you fall apart. When you go quiet, when you give them nothing, no reaction, no emotion, just cold, calculated silence. It drives them crazy. It makes them feel small. It makes them feel powerless. And there's a sweet taste of victory. People are terrified of silence. They're terrified of being left alone with their thoughts. They're terrified of having to face themselves. And when you go silent, when you leave them with nothing but their own insecurities, their own doubts, their own fears, they crumble every single time. So stop talking, stop explaining yourself, stop trying to make people understand. They don't want to understand. They don't care about you, they only care about themselves. So let them have their noise, let them scream and shout and make a scene. You just stand there, calm, quiet, unbothered, because silence, that's your weapon, that's your shield, that's your power. And when they come crawling back, when they start begging for your attention, for your words, for your time, you don't give it to them. You keep walking, you keep your mouth shut, you let your silence speak for itself. Because that's when you've won. That's when you've taken control. People want to play games, they want to mess with your head, fine, let them. But you don't play by their rules. You don't let them see you sweat. You don't give them the satisfaction of a reaction. You kill them with your silence. You make them feel small, insignificant, powerless. And in the end, you walk away with your head high while they're left choking on you leave behind. And don't get me wrong, they're going to call you cold, they're going to say you've changed, they're going to say you're heartless. Good, let them think whatever they want. Because the truth is, they were never worth your warmth, they were never worth your kindness, they were never worth your energy. All they were ever worth was your silence. Be silent. It's not just about keeping your mouth shut, it's about holding back your power. Every word you give away is a piece of you they don't deserve. When you speak, you offer them insight and opening a chance to manipulate your emotions. But when you remain silent, they get nothing. Silence is the ultimate shield, the impenetrable fortress. No one can break through it. Makes people uneasy, makes them question their own actions, makes them wonder what you're really thinking. In silence, you hold all the cards, and they left scrambling, searching for answers that will never come. You see? Silence has a way of making people confront their own fears, their own insecurities. They'll try to provoke you, try to get a rise out of you, but the more you refuse to respond, the more they unravel. They'll wonder why you're not reacting, why you're not playing their game. That's when the tables turn. That's when you hold the power. Your silence speaks louder than anything you could ever say. It's a constant reminder that they no longer control you, that their words and actions mean nothing, and that terrifies them. So let them scream, let them talk, let them make noise. You stay silent, unbothered, untouchable. Your silence isn't just a lack of words, it's a declaration, a statement that you're above their games, above their petty attempts to tear you down. It's not surrender, it's strength, it's power. And in a world that thrives on chaos and noise, silence is the rarest, most lethal weapon you can wield. And that's what you give them: silence. Cold, hard, unforgiving silence. You let them feel the weight of it. You let it wrap around them like a chain, squeezing tighter and tighter until they can't breathe. You let it crush them, because that's what they deserve. That's what they've earned. People are parasites. They latch on to you, suck you dry, and then move on to the next victim. But when you stop feeding them, when you go silent, when you refuse to give them what they crave, they starve. They wither, they die, and you're free. So stop wasting your breath on people who don't care. Stop giving your time, your energy, your words to people who don't deserve them. You want to survive in this world? You want to stop getting hurt? You want to stop feeling like everyone's punching back? Then shut your mouth. Go silent. Watch how they crumble when you give them nothing. Kill them with your silence, because in this world, that's the only way to survive.